Hi, welcome. My name is Sharon Fortier, and my business is A Path Inward. And this is a video on the Venus cycle. Specifically, we're in the metamorphic period between the ending Capricorn cycle and the beginning Leo cycle. So that's the content of today's video. Thank you for joining me. First thing I want to say is the Venus cycle doesn't belong to anybody. And there are some giants in the field. So Caitlin Castell and Ariel, and her name, I will get her name, are kind of the two biggies. And then also there's Sasha Rose, Damascena Tanis, Divine Harmony. Are all these women are astrologers that have pioneered aspects of the Venus cycle. So I just want to mention them and thank them right up front, because these are women that I've learned from. And I hope to pass along what knowledge I've learned. And I also hope to add my voice to the mix. So that's something that I gleaned from the past Capricorn cycle, is knowing where my lane is. I spent a lot of time trying to shine someone else's light, do things the way somebody else did. And this past cycle in Capricorn has really landed me in a firm knowing of what is mine to offer. And I hope to be able to help other women find that for themselves, because that's really needed right now, that we can kind of drop all of that conditioning that we've had and step into truth. So again, thanks for joining the ride as long as you are on it. I'll ask you to visit my website, which is apihealing.com. Join the mailing list, and there will be a membership account coming soon, in which members will be able to participate in a monthly Venus transmission that also will have some rituals, like in-person circles, in person here in Northfield, Connecticut. I know not everyone that I connect with is able to come to something local, so I'll separate those things out so that you don't feel like you're missing anything. So I'm just going to prepare you to be amazed with my technical ability, because right now I'm going to show you a depiction of the Venus cycle so that we're kind of all on the same page. And it's really not technical at all. It's super analog, which is just, it's within my ability. That's all. And this coming Leo cycle is about shining our light and not letting anything stop us from that. And technical issues could have stopped me. There's a lot of times where I'm like, well, I can't do this until and I just said, well, I'm just going to offer it in my Sharon style, and hopefully it's received. So here we go. Really technical. Okay, so I just gotta, there we go. Hope you all can see that. So this here depicts the sun, and this is Venus, and this is Venus's orbit around the sun, and this is the Earth. So we're going to talk about the Venus cycle from Earth's perspective. Right now, Venus is kind of about here. These sticks will signify the line of sight. And I apologize, it's not like super technical, but so here we are. Today is the 10th of August, and Venus at early morning 13th will be in a direct line with the sun and the earth, and that's called Cassimi. That's Venus Cassimi. And we think of this as Venus being reborn. So right now, Venus is at the very end of the Capricorn cycle. She's no longer visible in the sky, not yet reborn. So this portion here in between the two sticks, when Venus is not visible in the sky, but in her retrograde period, is the metamorphic stage. So it's the ending of one cycle and the beginning of the other cycle. We're integrating the Capricorn cycle and preparing for the Leo cycle. Venus is also retrograde, and this is considered the inferior or interior underworld or invisible period. She will also be invisible at this part of the cycle for a much longer time. That's the exterior or superior conjunction. And this is considered the underworld period here. So here we are in the metamorphic stage. So metamorphic stage, Venus visible as the morning star. Underworld stage, Venus visible as the evening star. That's a general overview of her cycle. So this is Cazimi. Some astrologers consider this the beginning of the cycle. My mentor, Kaylin Cassell, considers this, when she becomes visible in the morning sky, as the beginning of the next cycle. And she says it's because the ancients wouldn't have known this exact alignment. I don't know that that's true myself, but I can see the wisdom of calling this the beginning of the cycle. And I'm just going to let you decide for yourself what feels right. I think that's the moment of time that we're in right now, is that we're all being called to feel what is right. There's many different variations of truth, and we have to align with what resonates with us. So there we go, my super technical Venus cycle explanation. Thank you for bearing with me. I hope it was entertaining and enlightening. So we're closing down the Venus in Capricorn cycle, which started in January of 2022. So Venus became visible in the morning sky in the sign of Capricorn, and Capricorn toned the entire cycle. Again, different astrologers have different perspectives on that, but this is the one that I resonate with, so here we are. Some of the themes of Venus in popular astrology are that Venus is romantic relationships, sexuality, sensual things, pleasurable things, pleasure, and I feel like that's a little two-dimensional, and I know a lot of other astrologers expand beyond those qualities of Venus. So Venus does hold those qualities, and also Venus holds that feminine principle in the astrological pantheon. So Venus also speaks to our values, like what we value, what is valuable to us, what we magnetize towards us when we slip into that feminine principle of energy and magnetize our desires towards us. That's a very Venus flavor. Did I miss anything on my list? No. Okay. And so Capricorn is a cardinal yin earth sign. So yin is in alignment with the feminine principle. Earth is self-explanatory, and cardinal means it's the first sign of that season. So it has an initiating energy, that beginning energy. And Capricorn sign starts with the winter solstice, which is the dark half of the year has just completed, and now the light is starting to return. So the sign of Capricorn kind of looks towards that long journey to the peak of the sun. And if we take on that archetype of the journey, we can look at some of the identifying qualities of Capricorn, which are like, think if you were going on a journey, right? Like, so you have to have a discernment. What do I need? You have to be prepared for hard work. You have to be prepared for the structure of what is needed to get to that goal. You have to have some good boundaries. You can't be leaking energy all over the place if you're going to be able to sustain the journey. You're going to have to think about containment and containers. A container holds and amplifies the energy, right? That's very Capricornian. The tool of the priestess tool, or the wise woman tool of the staff, which is this connection between earth and sky, like this vertical alignment, which is being in alignment with your truth and connected from the earth plane to the cosmic plane. Capricorn holds the energy of wise woman, and it's very internal. Again, that containment, like if every idea we have is always going out, we're dissipating our energy. Whereas if we have an idea and we hold it internally and let it build energy, let it gestate internally, then when we bring it out, it's mature, it's ready for the world. So all of these things are Capricorn themes. And this Capricorn cycle is ending. It's a 19-month cycle. Again, it started in January of 2022. So think back. I would invite you to maybe journal after you watch this video, or pause the video and journal now. And how have these themes showed up for you? How have you engaged in hard work? How have you implemented structures and boundaries and discernment? How have you matured? What's matured for you in this past 19-month cycle? And we do this to honor the energy of Venus in Capricorn. We honor what she's brought to our lives. Even if you weren't consciously journeying with a Venus cycle, which I think certainly amplifies the potential and the potency of the themes. But even if you weren't, believe me, it was happening for you. So what needs integration from these themes, and what gifts have this long trek given you? I think I already named one of the gifts that I received is that, well, maybe I haven't. Like I came out of this Capricorn cycle knowing what is mine, knowing where my voice is. I spend a lot of energy and time in my life looking like, oh, I want to do that, what she's doing. I want to do this, what she's doing. And that's a waste of energy because my energy really flows when I'm in the flow of where I'm supposed to be. And another gift that I learned from this Capricorn cycle is to value myself and my energy and what I have to give, to not just give it away. And I know that's a touchy subject with the giving away and what people can afford and what people can't afford, and it's a tough thing, and we all have to draw the line where we have to draw the line. There's programs I would love to participate in, but I can't afford them. And at the same time, like when I offer a program, I try to offer it in a range that's acceptable to people, and I can't just give myself away. So that's something I've learned. And if you're still with me, because I know that's a tough topic for some people. So next we're moving into the Leo Metagoddess phase, and that's in September. Again, if we start the cycle when Venus is visible in the morning sky. That's going to be a little different for everyone based on where you are on the planet. So I'm not going to throw a date on there. I'm just going to say September. Although now I'm questioning that, but bear with me. So the next cycle is the Leo Metagoddess. So Leo is yang, fire, and it's a fixed sign. So it has that masculine active energy. It's fixed. It's in the center of the season. So it's not changing. And that makes me think like fire, not changing fire makes me think of that eternal light. The unchanging fire, the eternal self. And that song, This Little Light of Mine, like that, you know, we all have this spark that's unchanging, unchangeable, and that's going to be activated in this upcoming cycle. So the Leo Metagoddess speaks to us about taking up space and playing big, not playing small, not letting things stop you. Like I talked about at the beginning of the video, I could have let my inability to figure out how to like animate a video stop me from doing this. And I just decided instead to stand here in my full truth and be received or be not received. And that's okay. Yeah. Leo Metagoddess is about brilliance. It's about our sovereignty. It's about self-love, self-power, self-confidence. See all of these self-words. Leo comes in the astrological wheel after Cancer, which is all about like that mother giving, nurturing, taking care of the other energy. And then we slip into Leo, which is okay, not like taking care of myself. Kaylin Castell talks about this Leo Metagoddess as being shining just to shine, not shining with the specific reason of being of service, but shining like just because we all have come here to shine. She also says that the sun shines on everyone, right? Equally. There's nobody that has more ownership of that sunshine than anyone else. So that's the energy of the Leo Metagoddess that we're inviting in. And this comes into my awareness by Damascena Tanis. I would not have been aware of this if it wasn't for her. Look her up. She's amazing. She mentioned that when Venus is Cassimi, which is in alignment with the earth and the sun, she's conjunct the sun, she will be with Black Moon Lilith. Lilith in the mythology, Lilith was Adam's first wife. She was made from the same clay as Adam, and then Creator and Adam decided that she needed to be subservient, and she was like, oh, hell no. And out the garden she went. So she, refused to be subservient. I think that really speaks to probably the pre-Christian matriarchal religions, right? That birth and blood and death were their territory. And Christianity, really a monotheistic, masculine-led religion, came in and like booted that powerful feminine out of the pantheon of the spirituality at the time. So she became vilified in that Christian perspective. Lilith was the baby stealer. She caused miscarriages. She carried death with her, really. That's where our vision of blackness or darkness became evil. So I think Black Moon Lilith is asking us in this Venus cycle to be okay with being the villain in somebody's story, which it can be a powerful thing to be able to integrate, being okay with being the villain in somebody else's story. And so I'll ask you to also journal. You can pause now or journal later on how can these themes open up for you in the next cycle, and what intention do you bring to Venus's rebirth, which again is in the early morning hours of August 13th. So evening of the 12th or morning of the 13th, I'm inviting you to do a ritual. I have some also very technical, if I can share screen. Can I do that? Yeah, okay. So I'm asking you to do a ritual where you actually like physically step from the Capricorn. As you can see this picture here, it's just like a little thing I made in my massage room. It could be something like this or more elaborate. You can have altars on either side here, but this black background with the blue and black fabric is very Capricornian. That dark blue, black are Capricorn colors. And then on the other side of the threshold here, you see there's gold, yellow, suns, and white. And so with colors, bringing the color frequencies into your ritual, you can step at the threshold here and give some thanks for the things you've reflected on that you have learned in this last 19-month cycle. And then with awareness, intention, and consciousness, step through the threshold. I'm just going to show another picture here. It doesn't have to be something like this that you've made. It could be something like this in nature. It could be two trees. This just happens. This is where I live in the woods. I love this. I love when I see this happen out in nature because it's just a natural doorway. And I use these in rituals oftentimes when I'm committing to myself to leave something behind or step through to something new. I invite something new in. So you could do this. You could have 2 candles on your living room floor, or you can just intend with your next step forward. There doesn't need to be anything on the physical plane. You could have 2 chairs back to back and walk through them. It's more about your intention than it is about what it looks like. But it's fun sometimes to make it beautiful. Venus does hold beauty, so it is an honoring of Venus if we give some energy to the beauty of it. So that's just a little suggestion for you. I invite you to do that. And I also will invite you to join me for a free local circle welcoming Venus, welcoming the Venus cycle. And that will be on September 9th at 11 a.m. It's a Sunday, September 9th, 11 a.m. I will ask you to pre-register because there'll be a free gift. And I need to have those ready. So my email is apathinward@att.net, or you can go ahead. I will ask you to please go ahead to the website and subscribe to the newsletter if you're interested in this and other things that I do, because that's how I will contact you and let you know what's going on. So thank you for your time. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you staying to the end, and happy Venus cycle to you. I do want to mention Kaylin Castell has an online circle you can join. I know Sasha Rose has one. Damascena Tanis has I think it's called Sky Dancer. And I'm sure that Divine Harmony has something too. And so these are more involved programs, but also if you're really interested and you want to, this is going to be a very small financial commitment, and it's going to be pretty local. So if you wanted to do this circle and something that's a little bit more involved, you could do that. I would recommend any of those people. So thank you so much for your time. Have an awesome day.